don't forget to subscribe for more reviews. Please also like. Thank you.
Hello there everyone, Tom here again, and today we have the privilege of taking a look at the Mr. Moon Mini Master Series MM01 recorder and MM02 the mic. And this is Blaster and Perceptor. And they usually do these together because they lend themselves well to being paired off the same mold. I get it. So, here's the front of the box, top of the box, side of the box, back of the box, side of the box, bottom of the box. Alright, what do you say we get this thing? Oh, and my box has like lots of dust on it. I bought this at TF Source, so I don't know if that says anything or not, but alright, let's get these things out of the box and see what we get. Alright, so right out of the box, okay, I imagine this goes right here, maybe. There's a hole for it in the peg, so we're going to correctly or incorrectly conclude that that goes there. Alright, let's give him, which weapon does he get, the red one or the... Oh, well, let's take a quick look at the weapons. Black plastic. That's it. Okay. Let's give him this one, just for shits and giggles. Okay. And here is the red plastic gun. Some molded detail. Not a whole lot to it. It's measuring in at approximately 2.5 inches. Okay. We'll give this one to him. I may have these backwards. I really don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure. According to the box art, he should have this gun and it should be black. One thing else you might notice is that he doesn't have his chest in. It fell out. This is just a painted piece of plastic, and I know it's painted because I could see the paint. It was originally red, if you all can see. So I'm guessing that goes in there, like that. There we go. Okay. It does open. It's very tiny. It's wee. Look at that. It's wee. Do I have any type of cassette that might fit in there? I don't know. I've got a little buzzsaw right here. He will fit in there, but I don't think he's ever coming out now. So yeah, you can put one of the Mech Fan Toys cassettes in there. That's what I just did. You just saw me do it. Okay. So let's see. I think I paid 40 bucks for this set. The only other thing the set comes with is a set of Mr. Moon instructions. So yeah. Okay. Initial impressions, these things feel cheap. Excuse me, I'm sorry, there's just, I'm not being mean, they feel cheap. Let's start off with Blaster. Pull this out, give him his appropriate weapon. Okay. Alright, so now he's got a weapon. Yay for weapons. I don't have a Masterpiece Blaster. The only one I know of is the KFC one. I really wish Takara Tommy would make one, but if they made it, I'm afraid they wouldn't make it to fit their Soundwave. It'd be too cartoony, and their G1 Soundwave is very much not cartoony. This thing, height-wise, is coming up to about 4.5 inches, just maybe a tip over. Shoulder to shoulder, we're looking at 2.25. Depth-wise, from the feet to the back of the backpack here, I'm going to estimate about 1.5 to 1 3/4 inches. Let's zoom in on this guy and take a look at him. So he's got a white head here with a white face. He's got blue for the eyes. I don't see any black around it. I think that's just a shadow. This is red plastic. We've already looked at this. Painted yellow and black. Red plastic right here. Moving down the figure, we've got some black paint right here. Plastic, plastic, plastic. Plastic, some red paint here. A little bit of red paint there. Plastic, plastic, paint. That's just a hole. Let's see if I can get a little light in there so y'all can see. Maybe. No, it's not. I stand corrected. That's actual paint. I stand corrected. I apologize. And that's just plastic. Get a little bit of paint right here. Yeah, the side of the figure looks like this. Back of the figure looks like this. Alright, let's see here. Articulation. The head has a screw right there, as you can see. It's on a ball joint, so he can get some sassy bot going right there, I guess. He can look up that far. He can look down a little bit. His chin hits right here. T-jointed ball joints. T-jointed, they're ball joints for arms, so he can definitely go wee. Okay, all the way around, no problem. There's no butterfly. 90 degree at the elbow. Bicep rotation is on a mushroom peg that you can actually see right there. Rotation. And the wrists are on a ball joint, and that's for transformation, I can tell. Okay. He has hip rotation, but it does peg in right here. It pegs. It stops on those pegs. Excuse me. No ab crunch. T-jointed ball joints for hips. Lets him do the full Chinese splits and the cuts. Yeah, he can do a full American as well. Thigh swivel is built into this mushroom peg assembly right here, and it works quite well. You also get a little bit of rocker right there. Knee joint, that is a clean looking knee. Look at that. And that's what that other piece was for. That's what this piece is for. Wow, they pinned it, and I like that. That's about the cleanest knee I've seen in a long time. Look at that, folks. That's great. The feet, 90 degrees. Okay. The feet feel like they should come down, but dogged if they do. Oh, it's because this is in here. That's why. It's all one piece. So if you move this, you can get a tilt up, but you're not going to get a rocker with it. So that is this guy's articulation and general impressions. The plastic feels okay. It's not super sturdy. It doesn't feel like McFan's toys. And actually, if I had to put it, I'd say it's kind of close to the Hound here, to the Hasbro stuff, to be honest with you. It's just kind of got that feel to it, if you follow me. Alright, so I'll do size comparisons with them both at the same time, and the next thing, I'll jump into Perceptor here, and the next time you see this guy will be for size comparisons, and then we'll transform each individually. And here we have Perceptor, or what do they call him? The Mic, the M-I-C, the Mic, the Mic, whatever, I don't care. Since Perceptor typically always has this device here, I'm going to measure him to the top of that. He should be 4.5 inches. He's the same mold as the other one, so this will give us good comparison. According to this scale, he's approximately 5 inches high. With this, again, shoulder to shoulder, we're looking at 2.25 approximately. Depth-wise, I'm not counting this for depth. 1.5 inches approximately. Alright. He can hold his weapon, as we can see. This thing rotates around however you want it. Up, down. This is for This doesn't do anything. It doesn't even rotate. It's glued on, so it's thing with that. I really don't like this tip. I think I'm going to repaint this to something else. I'm not sure what just yet, but something. That doesn't look right to me. Let's zoom in here and see what we get. So, he's got a pretty nice head sculpt. I mean, it's nice enough. Let me put it like that. It's nice enough. We get nice blue eyes, black paint on the helmet, white paint here, or maybe that's black plastic. I'd say it's plastic. The eyes are not out-rimmed in black. They just kind of look that way because of the shadow, I guess. Moving down the figure, we get some gray paint right here on top of the silver, and this is painted silver all the way through, so that's a nice little touch. Plastic. This is painted silver. The hands are regular plastic. No paint through the crotchal area. Blue plastic, red, and black. And believe it or not, that kind of represents the colors on this guy. So his articulation, obviously we said this moves. The head is on a ball joint, just like, let's see, Recorder or Blaster. Move side to side. We get, if you bend the hinge, you can get up quite a bit. Looks down just a little bit right there. Okay. The arms are on the ball joints, just like the other one. We get very tight rotation right there. Tolerance quite well, I'll give it that. Out to there, so you can go wee, just like everybody else. 90-degree elbow bend, and he's got the same ball joint right here, so it gives you turn and wiggle. He has a waist swivel, which again gets caught up in the back pieces here. T-jointed ball joints for hips. This really is the same mold. He's got the same stuff for Blaster right there. They didn't change anything. Wow. Forward and back. No problem with the Chinese splits. Maybe with the American? No problem with the American. He has the same little mechanism here for his knee built on that mushroom peg there. So yeah, he has a really neat and clean knee, and the feet can move up and down. They're just pinned. Alright, so same thing here. What we need to do, this is annoying. So what we need to do now is scale comparison, and as I said, I'll compare them both all together. Who are these guys? This is Blaster, and that's Perceptor. And I'll show it off here in a minute, but they basically are remolds of this figure right here that Mech Fans Toys Planet, whatever it is, put out. Wait, so they're a knockoff of a knockoff? Ah! I'm not entirely sure, Nemesis, but yeah, I'll show it here in just a minute, just how similar they are. Damn it, it's hard enough being me. Now we got knockoffs. What's gonna happen? Am I gonna have a knockoff too? Probably. You do it with your hand again. Get out of here. Can I get back to the review, Nemesis? Alright, I go. But I'm always watching. Yes, you know, I am so tired of hearing you say that. Here, take Spike. Spike needs a friend. I need a friend. Ah! Oh gosh. All right, folks. I said I would show this off, and I'm about to. So this is Mech Fans Planet toy thing, and this is Mr. Moon Blaster. There are a few sort of obvious things that are the same. The way these back panels here look are, you know, way similar. The T-jointed ball joints, the piece for the frickin' knee is the same. Y'all see this? Yeah, this is a rip-off of McFan's Planet toy. I don't know if they had, I mean, even down to the thing right here, see? Yeah, this is why he can hold his cassette. He can hold his cassettes. Yeah. I don't know. This makes me sad. All right, but I guess the next thing to do will be to transform them. So to transform old Blaster here, first thing we have to do is take his weapon out. Let's see here. We can twist his head around, push it back in here, and it'll just collapse in like that. We take the arms, and there's a hinge here. We just unpeg them, bring them back, so that the cut piece, you can see it. Now the hands will grip these two little pieces right here. So you have to have this out, pardon me, and these turned around so that they can do what they're supposed to do. And it's not as solid as you would like, but it does what it needs to do right here. So you're left with something like this. Now, the things here, the legs, what I recommend doing is folding these up like this, folding those up like that, rotating at this hip joint here, or thigh joint right here, so that this part is out, bend at that knee, and rotate that around. There is a peg that will go in, right here. Just kind of peg that in right there, and it looks like this. Now, alternatively, you can rotate it so that it looks like this, or even like this if you so desire. It doesn't really make that big of a difference in the long run, other than maybe it might be more stable this way. I don't know. I truly don't. But it just plugs in right there. It just plugs in right here, like that, he says. Yeah, that won't work that way. Interesting. So I guess it has to be this way for it to be able to come in and plug in properly. There we go. Okay. Well, we do it however it has to be done, so long as it gets in there. Soundwave gave us the option. Now this has a little clip right here, as you can see. Clip it together, makes it nice and solid and stable. And here we have Blaster in his robot mode, or alt mode. This is his alt mode. It's not the best thing I've ever seen, to be fair. There, that's a little bit better. So just adjust it until it works right. In this mode, you're looking at approximately 2 3/4 by 1 inch and, well, crud, we got that thing sticking out there. It's over 1 1/2 inches. I know it looks, it's over 1 1/4 inches. It looks closer to 1 1/2 inches. It might be, I don't know. See, that was depth. Height-wise, we're looking at approximately a little bit better than 2 1/4 inches. Alright, and I would imagine that a Masterpiece figure could hold this. I don't know. Let's see here. Where we're going to store his gun at, because it needs to be able to store. That's a really good question. Back here, maybe? Yeah, you can put it in that peg right there, and it will sit. Here it is in comparison with the Sound Blaster, and you can see, I mean, they share a lot of the same engineering with a little bit of remolding, and that didn't stay in. Oh crud. There we go. Okay. They share similar engineering, and they're about the same size. So, yeah, that's something. Alright, why don't we go ahead, and I'll do other, like I said, comparisons with them when I do, I'll do both of them at once. That's what I'm trying to get at. Old Perceptor here, or the mic as they call him, has a slightly different transformation than Blaster, but not by much. First thing we need to do is take out the weapons, and I'm calling this a weapon. Alright, turn the head around and push it in back. Now, we take the arms and we push them straight up so that they're like this, and we can go ahead this time and just let that thing fall down, because it's going to anyway. Bring the legs out like this and push in the feet. Alright, now, let's see here. I want to make sure I get it right, so I'm actually looking at the directions. Now, we bring these in like this, okay, so that they kind of sit here like this. We take the arms and we rotate them back into position. Excuse me. Rotate these around so that they can bend, and we, I guess, the right way to bend, whichever way that is, like this, okay. Now, we take this part right here and we plug it into the hands. So you got to maneuver them both so that you can get both hands in there like that. Okay, wiggle it so that it gets about to the center here, so you can bring this down. Okay, kind of like this. Then it says you take the gun, and it shows it plugging in back here somewhere, some way, unless it's like this maybe. Yeah, that'll work right there. And here is your microscope in this mode, and I have to tell you, it's not the greatest thing that I have ever seen, and I mean that quite literally. Height-wise, we're coming in at just shy of 4 inches. Width-wise, see, these things are adjustable, so I'm not sure what to do. I'll do hip to hip here, and they're also loose, which doesn't help. Approximately 2.5 to 2 3/4. Depth-wise, if we just look at it like this, we're looking at about 3 inches. Okay, this thing's pretty crappy, folks. I'm sorry, if you were expecting to like this thing's pretty crappy. I have no idea where my Titan's Return one is. I'm not even going to try and put this thing in any kind of tank mode, because I don't really think this lends itself to that. Alright, I mean, I guess, hey, it's tank mode. Let's do size comparisons, folks. Final thoughts wise, there are basically 3 things that I look at when I am determining whether or not something is worthy for somebody to purchase. One is quality. Is the quality here? Yes, there's enough quality here for me to be able to say, yeah, you should be okay with it. It's not the greatest thing ever was, but it's okay. I mean, if we buy a Hasbro mainline, you should be okay with this. The next thing is playability. The joints aren't as tight as they should be, but I think overall they're okay. Cost-wise, I think I paid $40, so that's about 20, maybe it was 35. It was 35, 40. Considering the amount that we're paying today for various different things, yeah, I think that's an appropriate price. I hate the fact that these are KOs of, you know, a smaller company that may or may not be making KOs. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that argument. But what I don't like here is the way that they literally have ripped off the mold or reused the mold to make these two, and they're sort of inferior from the original. So the quality there is there, the playability is there, the cost is appropriate. These things were made to be painted and fixed and this type of thing, and through the magic of editing, I am going to throw a few spare stickers that I have from various repro labels on it just to see if it makes any difference. So I've added a few little accents to them, and I think they really make a difference on these figures. I found a crotch piece from Power of the Primes Optimal Optimus that I used right here. These are just standard Autobot symbols. These were little bitty ones that were from Abominus. They were from the Abominus set. Same with this. And I really didn't do much else to Blaster. I thought that and those little accent pieces were just fine. Now I added a few more here. Let's see here. The crotch piece. This also came from the Abominus set. This is from Triptychon. These two right here. Full Tilt, Triptychon, something. And then I added a holographic symbol because I thought that was cute and neat. And then I added these little bits here from Triptychon as well, and I thought they kind of looked like slider, you know, things. With these accents, the plastic still looks a little weird, but I think it's okay. This is Tom. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the next review.
Thank you for watching my Papa's channel. Please subscribe and like. Thank you.
Another satisfied customer of Vitamin John. Operators are standing by. Call now.